Attack of the show. Attack.
The man who makes stealth sexy, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Sessler's here.
Right.
How are you,
You
sir?
guys just have to do that duck walk. You know, look, my
waddle?
back hurts, but no one can see me.
Now hold the trigger forever to stay in cover.
Yeah.
As a tribute for Splinter Cell Conviction, I think we just have a moment and freeze. Fantastic. The 360 version, I got it a couple days early. Was trying to play it over the weekend. Kept freezing on me. I apparently wasn't alone. Is this a bug that's been addressed?
This is pervasive. I didn't discover because I did play it on a debug. It sounds like Ubisoft has addressed the problem beyond the kind of initial recipe of emptying the cache. I think it's working.
Right. There was a workaround, but there's an official patch now.
Right. And if I'm wrong, then the internet will let me know now.
Yeah. Watch the Twitter wall across the studio. It'll be filled with a whole bunch of censored bars. All right. So Sam Fisher is back, but he's different this time, right? This ain't your daddy's Splinter Cell.
Yes, I had no idea my daddy had a Splinter Cell.
Turns out
he did.
He did, and his father had one,
I thought it was a goiter. Yes, this is much different, and I think that is a good thing. I love the original concept of Splinter Cell. I think everyone did, but there was a point where the stealth game just became the slow game.
Right.
And they really did need to revamp it. And this, it does not play the same way, but has many elements that are familiar, but it does have a sense of pep, and you have to be a little bit more on your toes. You're not just trying to stay in the dark.
Does it remain in the stealth genre, or is it now an action shooter?
But there's nothing that's in the stealth genre. Like Metal Gear Solid 4, like the other big stealth franchise, also changed itself.
Right.
There is a lot of stealth in the game.
movie. That was a completely different game. But
a 3-hour game, 12-hour movie.
Exactly.
But there is stealth in this, but you can use combat, you can use action, you can kill all the enemies in level. Something I like because, well, I can't do it in real life.
Right. And you're sort of gone rogue this time, right? And then there's no lock picking or.
Yeah, some of the things that people really miss, which is the lock picking and some of the gadgets. You don't have night vision goggles. You do get some goggles much later in the game.
Okay.
But what you get in return is he moves faster. He can move around windows and ledges a lot faster. You can come up with some pretty dynamic ways of taking out enemies, and you get to do it quickly. So if you fail, it doesn't feel like you have to do it all over again for another 15
minutes. Hop back in there and go.
Yeah.
And now what we're seeing here is the new mark and execute feature.
Yes.
Which I was a fan of, but you think it makes the game a little too easy?
Our reviewer, Jake Gaskill, pointed out that it does work every time you try it. And so if you really can get in a rhythm, all you have to do is do one hand-to-hand combat kill with an enemy, and then you get mark and execute. You can kind of daisy chain all of that. I'm not that skilled, and it really is cool when there's a room full of 5 people, figure out which 2 are you going to kill, and then how are you going to take care of the other 3.
Right, yeah, I enjoyed it. And it had me exploring the environment going, okay, where can I get that hand-to-hand kill so I can actually get that feature now?
This is a game where if you die in the course of a level, it's not too bad because you get to discover a new way of doing something you didn't realize.
Now, here's one thing that frustrated me. I want to get your thoughts on the desaturation of stealth mode, because in this game, there's no on-screen guide to let you know that you're hidden, other than the fact that the colors drain away from the level.
And it's a gorgeous game.
It's a gorgeous game, and I was so frustrated that the majority of it is spent in these black and white shadows.
It's still better than the eternal green of night vision goggles in the original Splinter Cells.
I'll give it that.
I agree with you that I was like, hold on, this game is gorgeous. As the game progresses, it's harder and harder to be in a completely hidden state for a long period of time. And I noticed it was happening even less, and I did appreciate to know, okay, for a moment here I'm safe. But I think it stayed black and white in the latter half of the game for maybe about 10 seconds at the most tops.
Okay, well that's good to hear. What about the co-op mode? Is that solid?
This really is a strong aspect of the game. It might, in many people's opinion, be stronger than that of the single-player game, which is a little bit short and not terribly challenging.
But it's a completely separate storyline.
Completely separate. You play 2 different agents. It's a prequel. You play the young new agents that Sam Fisher is kind of killing in the course of the single-player game. It's really fun. You can have a lot of fun times with your friends, especially if one person likes to run in a room and shoot, and the other guy likes to be stealthy. It's kind of Skipper and Gilligan right there.
Very cool. All right, so it sounds like you enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. What did X-Play give it?
4 out of 5. It's a wonderful foundation, but they still have some kinks to work out for the next one.
Very cool. Adam, thank you as always.
My pleasure.
And you can snap a couple necks on the way out if you like.
All right, I will.
Not mine. Splinter Cell Conviction is out now in stores. I wish we would have gone black and white there for a second.
It's big, it's beautiful, and you're gonna love it.
Attack of the Show's Epic April. Weeknights at 7. Only on G4.